Welcome to the Fit to Talk podcast.
You just found the #1 health and fitness podcast for performers.
Yeah,
and you're listening to a guest episode during which we discuss the realities of a career in the performing arts with people who are fit to talk about them.
Yes, we do. And if you like what we do, please leave us a review, or on Spotify, click that follow button.
Yeah. Also, if you like our meaningful, helpful and accurate information, then maybe Fit to Perform is for you. So check it out.
Yeah, check it out. You can find us on our website, fit-2.co.uk.
Moving on, we have an incredible guest for you today, an absolute gent.
An incredible guest with an incredible voice.
Oh my God. I'm just like, I didn't want to say it. I'm just like, talk to me.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Every time I forget quite how luxurious he sounds.
Yeah.
Every time I haven't seen him, and then I see him again, I'm like,
The second I put the headphones on, I was like, oh my God, I sound like a troll.
Soothing.
It's beautiful. But yeah, I mean, with a voice like that, he has featured in over 100 audiobooks to date, which we get into later in the episode. He's also been in lots of radio dramas for the BBC, and he's been nominated for several accolades for his voice work. He's also voiced hundreds of characters in dozens of games, computer games, over the past decade, working with some of London's biggest production studios. And as a stage actor, he's trod the boards on some of the finest boards you can imagine. Stages including the National Theatre, Shakespeare's Globe, and the National Theatre of Scotland, and many, many more.
Yes, the National Theatre of Scotland was a production that he suffered through with myself. My presence being the thing he suffered, not the production.
No.
Please enjoy the joyously jovial Josh Manning. Nice to see you in person, sir.
Good to see you too, man. Good to see you too.
I tend to, we should say, we know each other for, quite a while now.
Quite a while. What was it? It was 2016. We were doing a show with the National Theatre of Scotland together.
Yes.
Yeah.
And previous members of that cast we've had on the podcast, Peter Hanna.
Yes.
And Joseph Davies.
Yeah.
Joseph Davies, I saw. So you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel now. You've had to go back to the well 3 times.
There were only 4 people in that cast. No, I'm kidding. There were loads of us. No, not at all. In fact, we've not really had the opportunity to bring you in yet.
Thanks, man.
And
it's great to be here. It's great to be here. What a great thing you've created. This is awesome.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
I've been listening to some of your previous talent, and it's great. It's fantastic.
Any particular favourite you'd recommend?
I was listening to Sebastian Torchia on the way in.
That's
because I worked with him. He's a ledge, man.
He's wicked.
God.
Yeah,
he's
so
like
funny.
the Don of the industry. My God, how long has he been in the game for?
Yeah.
Like
about 140 years, I think.
believe.
Because the man is a vampire. He does not age.
He's got a kid that's 18 years old.
It's wild.
It's
That's
like
insane.
somebody's playing a practical joke on the rest of us, and he's the punchline. But I'm like, you look younger than me.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. That guy, you're right. He looks fresh as a daisy.
Yeah.
It's insane.
And so much energy.
I don't know how old he is, but it's like he's got some European genes going on there, doesn't he? I mean, he's got some special sauce that's working for him.
Yeah.
What you said about his energy in here was like wild. It was great.
And so likable.
Yeah.
To be so sort of, to draw you in and be that captivating and lovely.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not jaded at all.
oh yes. Oh, we've got a request for you.
Please.
At some point during the recording of this podcast, would you be willing to attempt to tell us a lie?
I felt this was coming. Yeah, I'll give it my best shot. What percentage of attendees like forget to do it entirely?
Oh, forget to do it entirely. I'm not sure, but don't succeed is over 50, you think, right?
Forget to do it entirely, I think it's over 50.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
I think for the most part, what happens is of that percentage who don't do it, I think a huge chunk are thinking about it quite a lot for the first 5-10 minutes.
And then it goes right out there.
And then goes. Yeah.
Okay.
So, but we should explain to people, if they're listening and this is their first episode of the podcast, what we request that you do is that you're telling us a lie. And if you're listening, try and guess as you listen along what might be the lie. And at the end, we will also guess. We'll cast our votes and we'll discover. And sometimes if you've forgotten to lie, Yeah, that makes it real interesting.
I feel confident you're going to get a lie in.
Oh, I have absolute faith that Josh is going to lie.
I will try to be in the upper 50th percentile. I'll do my utmost.
That's all I needed in school. I was like, just get me past that.
That's all you need these days, am I right?
So tell us, how does the story of your life begin?
Oh my God. How many people say something like, well, when a mummy and daddy really love each other? I mean,
surprisingly few.
Yeah.
Really?
So you can go down that line.
That's good stuff. They're missing a trick.
It's great content.
Wow. Where does it all begin? Well, I come from I grew up in a very small village outside of a small county in eastern Scotland called East Lothian. It's about half an hour outside of Edinburgh. And it was a tiny little village. I'm the son of a professor of zoology and a child psychoanalyst. And it was I had a very like sheltered middle class upbringing in what was essentially quite a sort of working class, salt of the earth type village. It was a small village growing up, and yeah, it was. I always. How many people that come on the podcast have been bullied when they went to school? Like 90%.
I mean, you're sort of looking at a demographic of mostly performers who've been on here, so
Pretty high.
90%,
Yeah.
right?
Depending on if they've, this is my opinion, depending on if they've been primarily a dancer and or female, because the female dancers have been bullied less frequently than almost any other guest.
Really? Less frequently?
In school.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Less frequently in school, but then bullied else.
Drama school or outside, yes. But in general, dance for girls as a teenager can be quite cool, depending on where you're from and the vibe.
Yes.
Whereas dance for boys was traditionally considered not good, and the same with performing of most
Same
kinds.
with the humanities, yeah.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
But we estimate a guess?
I think you were right with 90%.
Yeah. So we're high.
Yeah. We all
Pretty
just
high.
want to be loved.
Yes.
And we're just trying to claw back some of that void that appeared in us from a young age. No, it was a weird place to grow up, man. Like growing up in a small town in this working class environment and not really fitting in. It was a bit odd. High school was tough, as it always is, but when I discovered acting, as I'm sure is a common theme for a lot of guests that you have on this podcast, when art comes into your life, something clicks and you find a sense of identity, you find a sense of belonging. And that was what acting did for me. It gave me a sense of, I felt like growing up, I didn't feel in control a lot. And then when acting came into my life, I suddenly felt like this is something I'm good at. This is something that makes me feel alive. It's something that makes me feel in control. And thus, lifelong romance with the arts and with acting was born.
Yeah. I'm captivated by that. Just the tiny bit that you said that you feel in control when you're acting. I find that really interesting, but because I think some people might feel the opposite. So it's almost what makes you feel in control when you're performing that?
Well, I think, I guess it's about feeding into something that I connect with, I suppose. I think, I don't know, often in life we feel like we're just clawing at stuff, I suppose. There's so many forces being thrown at us and at work against us that when you step onto stage and you know that you've got a very specific job to do, you've just got to say these lines, you've got to be present, you've got to be in the moment, and you've got to deliver something. The job is very simple. You've got to enrapture people, I guess. You got to invite them in. You got to make them feel welcome. So I guess the MO of acting and of art in general is to connect with other people, isn't it? So I guess being given the power to facilitate those connections, for me, was where that sense of control came from. I think up until acting came into my life, I just felt like there was a lot of disparate forces acting on me that I didn't really hold any sway over. So yeah, as soon as acting came in, and I think that theme of control, it's not just in the actor, it's not just in the performance itself. it's also in the approach to the career that you have as an actor, because I think as an actor, like you say, it's characterized, the career of an actor is characterized by a lack of control. So I think any way that we can try and claw that back and take control of our own destiny is really valuable. I mean, like, for instance, like what you guys are doing here, you know, like with creating this podcast, like you're creating your own opportunities, you're creating your own forum, you're creating your own platform. I think that's fantastic.
I just love it. We're already jumping into the point of control, and I'm like, we are like, I wonder what we'll discuss today, and I was excited. But,
let's get real.
Let's get real. I wonder, because you mentioned the idea of being bullied, and actually, realistically, what you know, the crux of everyone that's ever been bullied is something that is they're being treated a certain way that's out of their control, and I wonder if there is a link in there that is. And you also said that thing 100%. Almost about affecting others through your work. And, you know, you are being affected by somebody when you're being bullied without your choice. And I find I've never pieced the two things together in that way before, that perhaps there's an element of going, hey, maybe I can positively affect people.
Yeah. I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I think it goes beyond just feeling like, you know, oh, this person that's bullying me doesn't like me. Therefore I need to seek out love. Yeah. It's also about just feeling helpless, I think, actually. I think that's why people bully, isn't it? You know, that's I would be lying if I said that there haven't been moments in the past where I've become a bully as well. Because I think when you've been on the receiving end of that, you've felt that helplessness. As a kid, you don't know any better. When the opportunity comes around to sort of enact that feeling that you've had thrust upon you upon somebody else, then we bully because we've been bullied, don't we?
I'm so happy you said that, because if you ask every single human being, let's just go with the UK, you know, have you ever bullied somebody? The number of those people that would say no does not accurately reflect the number of people that would say they have been bullied by a single other person.
Yeah.
Most people don't think that they are that thing, and it's purely because they didn't notice. Like sometimes, you know, they didn't realize that they're like, oh, I thought it was just fun that like we'd bundle that guy and shove him in a locker. Like everyone was laughing. It was just a laugh. Yeah. You're like, no, that kid wanted to, you know, take his own life or whatever it might be, and all these horrible things. And actually, to have the awareness to go, yes, that has resulted in me sometimes, perhaps, you know, being cruel or taking, that's not what you said, I'm putting words into your mouth, but you know, exerting control over others in the same way actually shows some actual awareness of the humanity of it all.
Well, yeah, I will. Hey, I don't think I realized it at the time, but I mean, when you get to a certain age and you start looking back and reflecting on those earlier periods in life, because like you say, as an actor, God, we're all just trying to fulfill that helpless child, aren't we? But yeah, no, looking back on it, I would be lying if I said that I haven't been a perpetrator of that kind of behavior as well. Yeah.
And I want to be clear that I'm not saying, then you are
I'm a bully.
The villain in this. I think that's the whole point, isn't it? That and the nuance within creating character, even if we're going to go down the acting side, that nothing is as simple or as black and white as, oh, that person is this.
Yeah.
Like they are not a bully. Like they're it's far more captivating and complicated.
It is. My parents used to always point that out to me when I was a kid, that I used to always get really upset when I was watching films as a kid or TV programs. I always hated it when the villain died at the end. I used to always like it when he went to prison.
Yeah.
I say he, could have been a she, but let's face it, I was watching films in the 90s. It was all very masculine and patriarchal. So, you know, they would get sent to prison. They would get there just deserved. There was a sense of justice. And I got really upset. I'd be like, why did they have to kill him? Why did they have to kill him? And I really didn't like it. I really didn't like it when, I think it was when I was really young and I watched Cliffhanger. Do you know Cliffhanger? Yeah. With John Lithgow, he plays the villain in it. It's Sylvester Stallone plays like a rock climber. Yeah. And John.
I'm so invested. I've seen this film.
Oh, it's so great! You should go watch it. It's classic. I was way too young to be watching that film, but I really didn't like it at the end where where John Lithgow's character dies. And I was like, he should have been brought to justice.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Because I guess I guess this is a way of me saying that I guess I had some kind of weird empathy for the villains, even though often in acting jobs we're told to portray very one-dimensional villainous characters sometimes. I think that even the most evil of characters have, the trick is to try and bring some nuance to them, try and bring some humanity to them. What's made them like this?
Well, the best villains are either ones that we understand their motivation, or like that you go, well, they kind of have a point. They've just skewed the point. Like that, they're the ones that you love. Like even the Joker, which is probably as far away from that as possible, is that the world is anarchy, and so nothing matters.
Yeah.
So why not?
Yeah.
And you can get on board with that thing.
Totally.
Like,
It's like Thanos. Thanos is a great example of it.
Yeah.
Thanos had a point.
You're like, Thanos got a point. Like, he's going about this the wrong way, but he's got a point.
Like,
and he's
then
all about
you're
resource management.
exactly. You're like, I get it. I get it. I mean, he could have clicked his fingers and made infinite resources, but instead,
Details.
Wasn't expecting that to be the topic of this. I love it.
No, I do. No, but you're right. I mean, I think those villains so we can talk about other acting stuff in a little bit, but I love this tangent.
Well, also, this entire podcast is tangents. Let's
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go down this rabbit hole. But I think the Marvel Cinematic Universe is a really good example of plumbing those kind of villainous characters, because within that whole franchise, you've got some fantastic villains that are very multi-layered, but you've also got some really problematic villains that people complain. I remember early in the days of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they had a bit of a villain problem, in that all of these villains felt very recycled and very one-dimensional, and people were like, no. But then every now and again, you had one come along like, Killmonger and stuff like that, and Black Panther and Thanos, and people would really clamor for these kind of more multi-dimensional, more interesting villains that felt real and rooted in reality. Because I think when you can understand what's made that person do these terrible things, it's more compelling than just seeing someone who's like, I'm evil and I'm going to have my evil ways with everyone. Yeah. Because there's nothing, there doesn't seem to be any driving force behind that.
It also it makes it feel a little juvenile. Totally. It's like the tale that you got told when you were 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever it might be, and it's like a fairy tale. You go, they're the bad guy, and like they want to take the 2 kids in the forest in the gingerbread house and shove them in the oven just because she's a witch and she's evil.
Yeah.
Like, whereas Ultron, for instance, I think was one of the first ones that was for me. When I was like, oh God, there are moments when you go, I think we should be on his side.
Oh my God, that's so good. James Spader, man. Talk about amazing voice performances. Like, he's so good. I mean, I think he was doing motion capture for that one as well, but my God, does anybody do that sort of like, I don't know, that sexy, snide, villainous thing like James Spader does? He's so good in that film. I love it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you don't care about Marvel, I'm sorry, we do. And the entire rest of the podcast was thus.
Let's just really get to grips with Phase 3, guys. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Let's get into the nitty-gritty.
In fact, at the time of recording this, they've just shown a trailer for the new Captain America.
Oh, yeah.
I've not watched it yet.
You've seen it? No?
I've seen it. Yeah. I watched
I've only seen clips, but I haven't watched the full thing.
I like Anthony Mackie. I think he's great. I really, really like him. I have to say, I do think that I post Endgame, I've lost a lot of interest in the MCU. It reached a saturation point with me. But
it's too much.
It's good. The trailer. Also, I want to walk into a film, and not, for once, not know what the entire plot is before I walk into a film. I feel like we have become saturated with all of this, all of this promotional stuff that gets slowly drip-fed to us over the course of months leading up to a film's release, and you just don't know. Like, you just know exactly what the plot of the film's going to be before you go in. It really bugs me, and people hang on every word and. Yeah, it's frustrating.
You are absolutely bad. Like, so many trailers. They're like, teaser trailer 4 has come out.
Yeah.
Like, this 5-minute teaser trailer.
Okay. And here's the 3rd cinematic trailer. I'm like, how long is the film? Like, that's 3 4-minute trailers now. That you're like,
Have you seen the Super Bowl promo? It's got like 10 seconds of extra footage that the other trailer didn't have in it. Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
And I'm absolutely here for it. Yeah.
I'm here for it. I live for those extra 10 seconds.
I've subscribed to all of them so that I can get it first.
Yeah.
You know, I'm with you with the saturation. I think this is absolutely the case. You know, I feel like phase 1, phase 2 of this stuff, when it was like, you know, perhaps closer to what we'll eventually call the golden cinema superhero age. You could go and watch any of those films without having seen the others.
Yes.
And now, for instance, this whole movie is coming out, you know, Captain America, whatever this one is called. Like, you probably should have watched the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Or you don't even know why he's wearing a Captain America suit.
That's true. You wouldn't understand.
True. Yeah.
Like, why is that happening? And then you're going, oh, there's a red Hulk.
There's a red Hulk now. Why is Hulk red? And some people will watch that and say, why is the Hulk red? Why is the Hulk gone red now?
Yeah.
Because they don't have that deep cut comic book knowledge about
Also, that's Harrison Ford.
It's Harrison Ford. It's a weird casting for that role.
That's a very weird casting.
I don't get it.
Don't they know that he hates Hollywood now?
He hates everyone.
I'm amazed that
you say now. I feel like he's always hated Hollywood.
I'm amazed that they're able to get him to sign on for that. He must be getting paid a lot of money.
My favorite thing I know about him of all time is that the most famous line he said in Star Wars was when he's about to go into that pit.
I know.
And then when she says, I love you. And he goes, I know. And that wasn't the line.
No.
The line was, I love you too.
I love you too. Yeah.
And he was like, he wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
He was right.
But the director was like, I just need you to say the line.
Yeah.
And he was like, no.
Yeah. He thought it was a missed opportunity. He was like, no, it's a missed opportunity for the character. And he created that iconic line. It's amazing. Yeah.
And arguably he was right.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to kill off Han Solo, didn't he? He wanted Han Solo to die in the second one, I think.
Did he?
Yeah. He definitely wanted him to die in Return of the Jedi. They kept bringing him back.
Just wanted him to die.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing. Normally you're going, I hope they don't kill my character off so I can come back for some more money.
I want to do another one, please.
Yeah, I think he just wasn't on board with the whole sci-fi thing. I don't know. Yeah. But no, I'm amazed they've got him to sign on for that Marvel film. It's crazy. And now we're going to get to see him, spoilers, probably become a big red CGI Hulk. And I'm here for that. I am here for that. Purely, I want to see the moment on his face where you see his soul die. Because you can just tell that it's Harrison Ford in a room that is just completely blue. And
with dots on his face.
With dots on his face. And he's just acting opposite a tennis ball. And he has no idea what's going on. You can say, well...
I hope they release that footage in like a behind the scenes.
They've done that. There's that famous bit of Ian McKellen on the Hobbit movies, right?
Yeah,
which
that's what I was thinking.
It was a story he'd told so many times, but now they found the picture.
It's a meme now.
Of the actual moment where he's in the studio, where there's lights that have have you seen it?
No.
So because obviously they're meant to be half his size and stuff. And in the previous ones, they did like loads of camera tricks to do that. But when it got to the Hobbit, they were like, we can do this with CGI, which meant they had lights with pictures of the Hobbits' faces on them. And it would light up when it was that person speaking. And he would literally look at those people. And he was there all day, every day for weeks. And he literally like sat down in a moment where they stopped filming, cried, and said, "This is not why I became an actor," like to himself under his breath. But I think like some people heard it and they were like, caught it.
It's very sad, but I can understand that. And I think that's why he's gone back to doing loads of stage stuff now. Yeah. Wishing him a speedy recovery, by the way. I feel he fell off a stage recently, didn't he?
Yeah, it was.
He did.
It's getting on a bit. Got to be careful, Ian.
What was the panto he did? Mother Goose.
Yeah.
He was so funny.
Did you see it?
Oh my God, I saw it. And it was hilarious. It was nuts, but also in the middle of it, he just cracked out a sonnet that was like,
just drop one in there.
And it was unbelievable.
Imagine having that stuff locked and loaded in your brain, that you can just whack out a sonnet whenever you need. I wish I had that kind of like encyclopedic memory.
It would be nice.
It would be nice to have that stuff at your fingertip. Do you think you could whack out any Shakespeare at the drop of a hat? If someone was like, do a monologue?
Not a full monologue.
No?
There's a couple that I could...
a few lines?
Yeah, a few lines, yeah. Definitely.
On a date, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Enough. Yeah.
Bobby, you think you could do it?
I got nothing.
I've
got like a rap from a 95 like telephone prank. That's about the only thing I've got locked in my brain.
Whatever
Shakespeare,
works
is it just a rap?
It's just a rap. I've done that rap for you.
What was the rap?
Let's hear it.
Do the rap.
It was a guy ringing up Selfridges, and he was doing a rap about all the things he wanted to buy.
Do it.
It's like,
really
Was this like a sort of YouTube short or something?
It's like Steve Penk on Capital FM, like years ago.
Oh my
Used to like do weekly pranks. And he rang up and he was like, I want a deluxe toilet seat for my mother, adjustable spanner set for my brother, a pair of size 10 Rupert Bear pajamas. I'll have a lawn mower because I broke my father's. I want an Anadin because my head is splitting, and 10 balls of wool so I can do my knitting. And it keeps going.
Fantastic.
Bravo.
That's all I've got locked and loaded. I've got nothing else.
That might be more effective than Shakespeare on a date.
I don't think it would.
Who needs a sonnet up your sleeve when you've got that?
Yeah.
I mean, that is great.
Yeah, Steve Penk rap.
You're the married one with a kid.
Yeah.
It worked.
To be fair, if I'd done that rap for Sam, we would not be married with a child.
Fair.
That is great.
Fair. So you grew up in East Lothian and that you were there until about 18.
Yeah.
What happened next?
What happened next? Well, I went to university in Glasgow, and I think that's when the real sort of love affair with acting and stuff like that became real, because I don't know, did you guys go to university? Did you go to uni, or did you go straight to drama school?
I did Central.
You did Central straight away.
Mm.
I went to uni. I went to Leeds College of Music.
What did you study there?
Music production.
Nice. Okay. How long were you there for? Like 3 years?
2.
2 years, right. But did you find that like a valuable experience? Do you look back on that
Hugely.
and think that
Yeah.
you're really glad and then did you go to drama school after
No,
that?
I didn't. I took a really weird, like, roundabout route, but I'm so glad I went there.
Yeah.
I loved kind of everything about that, and I feel like I've transferred loads of that to everything I do now.
Yeah, it's very different, because I had both of those experiences. I had the university experience and then the drama school experience, and I think I'm really glad that I had that experience of university first to, I guess, kind of just bed into myself as a person. I think when you leave high school, you've got no idea who you are. You know, you're just trying so hard to fit in, deal with the hormones, just get on top of it, and just trying to make it through to the end. And it was great. There was a lot of good stuff. High school was fun, and I had a lot of great acting experiences in high school plays where I really felt like I discovered the spark of that love that would then grow into something much bigger. But at university was where I really felt like I could start to I discovered a sense of play, I guess, because I was doing so much Amdram at university. I hardly studied. All I did for the whole time at university was do Amdram plays and Amdram musicals, and I must have done, over the course of 4 years, I must have done, like 50 productions or something like that. And back then, no one gives a, can I use 4-letter words on your podcast? Yes. No one gives a shit that you're not, that you're not the right age or you're not the right casting to play King Lear or whatever. They're like, yeah, you're 18, you can play Lear. I didn't play Lear, but I played like Macbeth and stuff like that, and I did all kinds of different stuff. I did like Brechtian theatre, I did musicals, I did restoration, I did like modern stuff, I did like so much weird shit as well, just weird stuff.
What were you actually studying?
I was studying theatre and music, but like I wasn't. There was so. It was really theoretical. It was very performance theory based. The course. So I think it was much more geared towards people that wanted to go off and become practitioners of the world of theatre. Okay. That they wanted to go out and maybe become dramaturgs and directors. Not even directors, really. Just people that wanted to go and create theatre and whatever that was. It wasn't really performance centric. There were very mild performance elements of the course, but it was very, very small. The majority of it was very theory based, and there was elements of it that were very interesting. But I knew at that stage that I wanted to be an actor. So the way I kind of scratched that itch was to just do all this Amdram, and through that I made lifelong friends that I'm still with now. I'm sure that you guys still have friends from that time in your life. I don't know. There's something about it when you're just you've left home, you've gone out into the world, you're a free agent, and you're not trying to fit in, you're not trying to be anything to suit other people. You can just be yourself, and let people gravitate towards you. And I think that was the big thing. That was the big revelation for me at university, was being able to just be myself and create this wonderful circle of people around me. And and then after that was when I went to drama school. And that was, and I'm curious about what your experience of that was, coming straight out of school and going into drama school. Because I went to Bristol Vic for 2 years, and it was fucked, man. I learned a lot during that time. I mean, I don't feel that I like came out of drama school fundamentally a different actor than I went in. I picked up a few bits and bobs here and there, but generally, like I'm glad that I had the experience of going to university first to kind of build up a bit of a thicker skin, and I guess I just wasn't at quite the same sort of malleable stage that you are when you first come out of high school, and if you were going into drama school. Because what's that like?
I think it absolutely fits with, I think, the sort of narrative that you're suggesting, which is, you said when you come out of high school you're a little bit sort of fucked, but and then afterwards you're in that place where you can go, okay, I'm willing to hold back, and because you know who you are. And so Central usually takes people who have been out for a year or two. I think there were only 3 people in my year who'd come straight from school, me being one of them. And the outcome of that was clear. For those three of us that were on the people who'd come straight from school, I had no clue who I was. And I really struggled with that for maybe the first full year, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a year and a half, and going, well, actually, I'm wasting time. I'm going, that time could have been better suited, and really, my focus at the time should have been on, and obviously in my head at the time, in the present moment of what it is, I thought I was concentrating on the things I was meant to concentrate on. But looking back, I'm going, oh my God, so much of my brain space was taken up on, what do people think of me? Who am I meant to be? Like, how should I be behaving? Like all of that stuff. So tricky.
It's just a very intense environment, I think, to be thrown into as your tertiary education. Like, I'm not saying, like, obviously I experienced all of that stuff that you're just speaking about there. Still trying to discover myself. It's not like I came into drama school like this fully fledged being. That was really, really confident and just like batted away all the criticism and stuff like that drama school inevitably throws at you. But I guess I had more of a foundation of being able to keep things in a little bit more perspective. Whereas I can imagine if you go straight from high school into that environment, I guess it varies from school to school as well. And when we graduated, when we went to drama school, I think the culture was maybe a little different than it is now, post kind of woke revolution and things like that. I mean, there was some pretty toxic stuff that went on at my drama school. I don't know about you, but now it would not fly.
We could write a book about it.
Oh my God, it was some really bad stuff that went down. That nowadays, I'm just going to name and shame. We had to get I remember on one of the first weeks of term, we had my entire year had their photos taken in their underwear. Just and what? Yeah. And
why?
I'm just gonna I mean, you may well ask that follow-up question. It was so that it was. I think it was in a voice lesson because they were trying to teach us about posture, and also about sort of. I guess it kind of fed in the kind of physical conditioning, the dance education that they were trying to put upon you as well. Even though it was really weird, like it could have been fooled into thinking that the course that I was doing was like a musical theatre course. We had so much dance, it was insane. People got really annoyed about it actually because they were like, "We've got dance 5 times a week and acting classes twice a week." And we're like, we're not training to be chorus line here.
That's
it was
more dance than I had
exactly
by a country mile.
Yeah. And you're ostensibly like a musical theatre performer, right? That's you're very gifted in musical theatre, and
I will take it. It was Central was in a weird place where they had just split the acting course into these 3 what they called pathways at the time.
Yes, I remember.
Now it doesn't exist in the same way.
Yeah.
But they were saying like, this is an acting course.
Yeah.
20% of it will be on music theatre.
Yeah.
So they would be like, 20% of your course will be dance and singing, and 80% will be acting, which did reflect what it actually was.
Right.
But that meant that you got sort of a weird group of people who, you know, there'd be the odd person who was like, I want to do musicals. And there'd be a bunch of people on that were like, I am an actor.
Right. Okay.
I need to be able to sing and occasionally dance if I want to be in Warhorse. Do you know what I mean? But I hate Les Mis. Like there's like 18 people, like literally with a spectrum of what they actually wanted to achieve. It was.
Did you get to choose which one you went for, or did they funnel you into whichever one they felt you were more suited to?
You could put your preference, but they'd funnel you in the audition process.
Really? So they told you will. It's like Gryffindor. You wouldn't
Pretty
get
much.
a choice.
But you could choose to accept your place or not. So it wasn't like you'd arrived and then they told you.
Right.
During the auditions, before their final round, I think sort of 2 or 3 rounds before the end, it split and said, oh, you've got a recall for the acting for stage and screen course. You've also got a recall for music theatre, and you haven't got a recall for collaborative and devised theatre.
So what if you ended up being funneled down into one that you didn't actually want to do? But of course you're going to take the plays because you want to go to Central.
Well, I think a lot of people might not.
Just would say no.
Well, it depends, I guess, how old they are and how much they know what they want to achieve.
I think a lot of people would probably just be like, I want the place at drama school.
Yeah, you definitely had a couple of people on some of the well, actually, we had one person on ours who would have preferred to be on acting on stage and screen.
Right.
And then definitely a couple of people who were in the other 2 courses who really had wanted to be doing the musical theatre one.
Yeah.
But maybe couldn't maybe sing well enough. I actually never heard them sing. I don't know. But for whatever reason, they weren't funneled that way, as you said. I don't think that's the system anymore. I think they're separate courses. Right. But it was messy.
So you had to stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane. So you didn't have So you're telling me you didn't have dance 5 times a week? That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we did, and we had an absolute. Even though none of us signed on to it, so we had an absolute. We had there were a couple of teachers there that were pretty hardcore. But yeah, they took our pictures in our underwear because they wanted to create a sort of before and after portfolio so that you could look at your... So then they took our picture 2 years down the line or 3 years down the line, whenever you happen to be graduating, they'd be like, right, kit off again, please, and take another picture and then hold them side to side and be like, look at, can you see that your posture is improved? And
look, you're older here.
Yeah, look. You've let yourself go. And that was, and who the hell knows what happened to those pictures in the interim? Who knows where they are now? There was, there's no...
Where were they kept?
Exactly. Well, I don't know. Nobody knows. So, there was no...
That's just a book in someone's office.
There's no safeguarding.
Polaroid pictures of everyone.
There's probably a massive binder somewhere that's just filled with those things, on a shelf somewhere in Bristol or Vic. Who knows?
Terrifying.
I don't know if they still do that. I don't know. Maybe if anyone listens to this podcast who's gone to Bristol Vic recently, please write in and tell us if they still do that.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah, no, genuinely do. And also, if you just know where those are kept because it's hilarious. I bet they weren't kept in a safe, is my point.
No, exactly.
They're like GDPR.
Yeah, there's no GDPR.
And do you think they might abs look better in the second picture?
Yeah, because I did draw them on for the photo.
I put it on spotlight.
You were a good mover though, weren't you?
Dude, no, not at all. I mean, there was quite a lot of there wasn't a lot of movement in the show that we did together. I was thinking about this a lot, and so when you asked me to come on, I was thinking back to the 306, and we had, what was the name of the choreographer on that?
Eddie Kay.
Eddie Kay. God, he was a nice guy. I had a lot of time for him. He was like this tiny little, it's like, in Scotland, the shorter you are, the harder you are, and he encapsulated that rule. He was about 5'4" or something like that, but you would not want to mess with him. He was like this tiny little. He was this tiny little hard man. He was like, right, guys, I'm all about stamina. All right, you got to have each other's back out there, okay? And I remember he came in and he was like, so we're going to start the day. We're going to be doing this every day, all right? And we're going to be doing some hardcore circuits. And we did like an hour of hardcore, like kind of military for me. military grade circuits every morning on that show.
It was brutal.
Yeah.
Like absolute brutality. Like harder than most classes that I've been to.
Yeah.
Like
people were really. I mean, there was a whole sort of gamut of fitness levels in that show, but yeah, it was like you could see that not everyone was at the same level, I would say, in terms of fitness. But yeah, man, I left those sessions in the morning feeling like pretty nauseous sometimes, pretty sick. It really pushed you hard.
And now time for rehearsal.
Yeah. But my point being that the extent of that, the choreography in that show was walking slowly in a straight line with a rifle.
You say this. They had these ideas. That we did all that rolling in the mud.
Oh my God, we did so much rolling in the mud.
And we spent 2 days coming up with that and got cut.
That was a movement exercise where we were trying to form some kind of massive human. It was World War I, and we were trying to sort of encapsulate some sort of physical sense of being in the trenches and being mud, being entangled, and trying to rolling over bodies and the brutality of it all and stuff like that. And it must have looked hilarious because it was just us rolling over each other and riding on each other and occasionally putting an elbow on each other's crotches and going, "Oh, sorry."
But you'd literally, because you were doing that and you had to let go of it, you'd literally be like, "And there's somebody's crotch on my face, just rolling over me with their full body weight," and you're like, but you weren't allowed to make a noise or anything, so you're literally and everyone's really sweaty, may I just add.
Yeah.
So it's very uncomfortable. But anyway, you're really getting into this thing. I'm really into this movement.
Yeah.
And then I saw the video of it not that long ago.
Oh, it's so good.
It's awful.
I really want to see this video.
It's as cringeworthy as it sounds. You should put it on the feed. It's so good.
I can't remember whose account it was on.
It's amazing.
But it got turned. There was all the rifle stuff.
Yeah. My point is that at no point was that level of physical conditioning that he inflicted upon us necessary for the level of choreography that there was in that show.
You're absolutely right. The only point that you needed physical conditioning that was really, really significant was we did have to leap between some.
Oh yeah, there was running around in the trenches. There's a bit of running around and jumping onto platforms, but it wasn't.
But the only bit that was really hard was at the end. It went from all the scenes and you'd been in no costume for the most part, and then we all had to do this change, which is the most difficult quick change I've ever done.
Oh shit! I forgot about that.
Because there wasn't anyone to help, because it was everyone in the show except 2 people that were still on stage, or 3 people that were still on stage at that moment in time. Everyone else had to go from their beige nothing outfit to a full World War I soldier's uniform with proper wraps around. So you had to do the wraps. If you messed that up, you were fucked.
Yeah.
We were in tech. We're going, there is no way this is possible.
No.
Not only just the change, you then had to run outside the front of the building.
Yeah.
Round the left, down the outside of the building, on the outside, where there'd be someone to hand you a rifle, and then if you got there in time, then you'd be there for the climax of the show. When the thing opened, it would be dawn, and you'd shoot the people.
Yeah.
So it was high stakes. The worst possible outcome was somebody there "Oh God, I'm late."
Yeah. It was really sorry. Just to qualify that point, it was about deserters in the First World War. The 306 being 306 British soldiers that were shot for cowardice or desertion in the First World War, who have henceforth been pardoned, as they're now just seen as casualties of war, as they well were. But it was very, very moving and humbling piece of theatre to be part of, and to be able to tell those stories. But then very much undermined by the fact that in this final run, you occasionally would just have people that were really, really struggling to get into position. And it was really not the kind of show where you could. You weren't allowed to show the cracks at all. You had to be sort of pole face for the entire thing.
It was not immersive, but it was, what's it called when you're around everybody? They were sat down the whole time in chairs, but the space wasn't conventional in
No, it wasn't. I don't know, I guess a kind of promenade kind of element to it, but I don't know if that's the right one.
Isn't a promenade a bit like a catwalk though, isn't it? Whereas this had, essentially a catwalk. Whereas this had an island in the middle and 4 other islands, and they'd be sat in between all of those, and then we had scaffolding up the outside that was decorated with trees, and you could be on all this scaffolding on the outside.
The set was so cool. I remember.
So much money.
They did spend a lot of money on that.
But anyway, what a piece of theatre.
What a piece of theatre. But no, that was just coming back to your original point. that is probably the most physical stuff that I've ever done in the show, to be honest. Like, I've never considered myself to be much of a mover, to be honest.
I'm not going for chorus line.
No. This is the thing, like, I think when I came out of drama school, I always saw myself as being an actor that can sing. I never saw myself as a musical theatre performer. And it's often something that I've been kind of pushed towards, and I've kind of had I found myself having to fight against it, really, because I love musical theatre, but it was never really something that I saw for myself. Partly because, you know, you are expected, you know, to be able to be competitive in that field, you really do need to be triple threat, you know. But for me, I was always more interested in the musical side of things, in the singing, in the playing, in playing instruments and things like that. I always saw that was where my skill set lay, and not in choreography. The one show where I've had to do a lot of choreography, I did end up actually projectile vomiting over someone in the front row. That was during the BFG at Birmingham Rec Theatre. I did have norovirus, but it was quite a physical show, and I was just so run down that I just, yeah, it was a dark moment. Well, it made the local newspapers, actually. It was like, thankfully it didn't make the national press, but the local newspapers were like BFG vomits over, you know, I think it was a school audience, and I think a lot of it fell into the pit, but I think some splatters of it made it to the front row.
The effects on this show are fantastic.
Yeah.
I can really see this. Yeah. We haven't really touched even on any of the audio work, but which is worth showing in. So you've got an audiobook coming out soon, right, called The Book of Elsewhere?
The Book of Elsewhere, yeah.
As casually, was this the one that's co-written by
Keanu Reeves?
Leo himself.
Casually
co-written by Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
What? Tell us more.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's based off of a comic book that he writes, actually. Keanu Reeves writes a comic book, because of course he does, because he's that kind of multifaceted kind of guy.
Like one of the coolest things.
I know, he's just such a cool dude, isn't he?
Too cool.
Too cool. So he writes a comic book, is part creator of a comic book. I mean, you know, there's a whole team that works on these things, but it's called Berserker, and it's so interesting. You look at the artwork for Berserker. It's about a sort of immortal warrior, kind of echoes of like Highlander in it. You know, he can't die. He's immortal. He sort of lives on through all the ages and all the wars and things like that. And you look at the artwork, and it is just Keanu Reeves. Like, it's very modelled in his own image. You can see.
It's like, what if I was immortal?
Yeah. He's living the dream. But he's created now. It's a very popular comic series, and he's now co-authored with China Miéville, who's a fantastic sci-fi writer. This novel set in the world of Berserker, and it's called The Book of Elsewhere, and it flits between a lot of different narratives. It's very epic in scope, as you would expect a piece about a sort of immortal warrior. It sort of spans lots of different centuries and things like that. It's a really epic story, and and one chapter in it is narrated by a Scottish character, and they called upon me, and I believe that Keanu Reeves is. Last I heard, it's coming out like next week, so it's a bit. I have to be a bit stupid about it.
Oh, this by the time this releases, this will have been a while ago.
That's fine. That's great. So
you're safe.
I think that Keanu is narrating like the prologue for it or something. So technically, I'm in a production with Keanu Reeves.
That's epic.
Love that.
Yeah, good fun.
I am absolutely on board with that. So how did you get into that element of thing? Because now you do a lot of this work. I mean, the obvious thing is you have a wonderful voice to listen to.
That's very kind. Thank you.
But how did you get into this thing? Because I don't think people quite understand the skill level required to do this. It's not just I'll just speak in my own voice. But cool. So how did you learn those skills, or was it that just self-exploration? How did you end up down sound?
Well, I was always interested in voice stuff. I was entered into a bursary at drama school called the Carlton Hobbs. Did you do the Carlton Hobbs? Mm-hmm. It was, Carlton Hobbs was a radio actor, and the BBC radio drama department created a bursary a sort of competition, if you will, that they run once a year, where drama school graduates apply and enter into this competition, where you go and you perform duologues and monologues in front of a panel at the BBC, and all of the drama schools enter it, and the winner gets, at the time, it was that you got brought on to the radio drama company for like a year. You got like a year contract with the radio drama company. I think now, given all the cutbacks, thank you very much, Tories, it's been shortened to 6 months. And I think that maybe now it was 4 people that it might have been more than that. I can't remember. It might have like 2 or 3 people. I think now it's only 1 or 2 they take on. But as a result of being entered into that bursary, I got quite a lot of extra training in radio technique. The artistic director at the time that I was at Bristol, Sue Wilson, she was very big on radio. Her partner, Sonny Ormond, was in the Archers. And there was another teacher, Kim Durham, who was our acting teacher, who was a really lovely man, and he was a regular in the Archers as well. So there was kind of like a radio drama pedigree at school at the time that I was there. So they were big on radio training, and we had access to some really fantastic studios in Bristol, Christchurch studios, to go and practice radio technique and microphone technique and things like that. And I think I was helped by the fact that a lot of people were like, "Oh no, you've got a really nice voice. You should do radio." And I think that's very flattering whenever people say that to me. I think I feel very lucky to have that people think that the timbre of my voice is nice. I think that does help, but I think that matters less nowadays. I think a lot of it is about technique, and about being to inhabit stuff and being able to sell stuff. I don't think having a nice voice is really enough to be successful in the acting in the voice acting world. But that was where I started off with it. So and then after I graduated, it started off as a bit of a side hustle. I was sending out voice reels and things like that, trying to get voice representation, because I just wanted that commercial dough. I just wanted to be the one that was doing all the VOs for the commercials, because I was like, oh, that's where the big bucks is and stuff like that.
And you were right.
Yeah, and it still is. But then gradually over the years, it stopped being like a side hustle and became more of a mainstay. I started doing a lot of audiobooks, and bit by bit, this kind of became my mainstay, really. In terms of earning a living, I've now done like over 100 audiobooks, and it became my bread and butter. And that was sort of interspersed with audio drama work. I have done some work with the BBC. A lot of the audio drama world now is independent from the BBC now. They're not really producing as much as they used to, and it's now a lot of it is outsourced to various different production houses. So I've worked with a few of them, but then recently in the last 5 years, it started to move into doing video games. And I think that was where I really was like, oh, wow, this is so much fun. Could I just do this for the rest of my life, please?
Really?
Yeah, man. And it is so, there's something about doing video games. Are you guys gamers? Do you play?
Yeah.
Do you play? What's your poison?
It changes. What console are we talking about?
Whichever console you want, baby. I've got a few.
All. I mean, I don't get much chance to actually play on a home console anymore, so I'm still on a PS4 on that front. And realistically, I don't have time to play that at home. But the Nintendo Switch was one that I got plenty of opportunity to play on when I was on tour. Now, obviously, mobile gaming is the only real opportunity that I would have on my phone.
Sure. Yeah. What kind of stuff do you play on your Switch and your PlayStation?
Probably PlayStation.
I just finished the new Spider-Man.
Nice.
That was my most recent one.
Yeah.
For me, if it was Switch, it would be anything from the era, your Pokemons to your Zeldas and stuff like that. But all of your Call of Duty on mobile.
You love Call of Duty mobile.
Yeah. COD, man.
Can't go wrong.
Did you play a lot of what's the battle royale
But like PUBG and stuff like that.
Yeah, did you? That became a big thing during lockdown. I remember there was a big furore around the
Frontline as well. That's what it's called for COD.
Yeah.
Warzone.
Warzone. We're going back into the war zone.
Yes. Yeah.
You're in the gulag. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm there.
Yeah. Oh my God, I lost so many hours. I remember I went up for one of those guys, actually. I think it was for a Battlefield game, but it was just one of those guys that was like, the caches are on the battlefield, we've got to move from now.
Yeah. You're like, I need to be commanding and clear, but also intense and masculine.
You got to be intense.
Whatever that means.
I remember there was a guy in, I think it was Call of Duty 2, that was Modern Warfare 2, that I remember when I was at drama school, me and my friend Matt just used to play it we used to play it incessantly, and there was a mode that we used to play that had one of these announcers, that every time you failed a mission, he would just go, let's run it again. Yeah. We just got our asses kicked, let's run it again. And we used to always just impersonate this guy. He became so like a part of our lives. Like, we just got our asses kicked.
I'm having flashbacks here, because in the 306 you were a sort of sign-up sergeant.
Yeah, the recruiting officer.
In which this like young boy would come in and be like, go away, kid.
You don't want to be any part of this. Yeah. That was the young Scott Gilmore, who was probably about, 25 at the time, playing like a 16-year-old.
Yes, and without doubt, I believed he was.
Oh, smashing it! Absolutely,
Unbelievable.
He was a great guy.
So, I guess a final main question from me, anyway, it would be, throughout all of this madness, so one, there's a vocal element to this nowadays for you, but how do you stay well and mentally too, and stable as much as a performer is, to do your job and live your life while doing this crazy thing?
I think for me, it's about letting go of an idea of perfection, really. I think about not being afraid to be a contradiction sometimes. And I think the hardest times in my life are times when, and in my career, are times when I've been holding myself to a very high standard and trying to be some perfect version of myself, or trying to get to some version of myself that I feel that I've got to be, whether that is a version of Josh who is uber motivated, who is uber healthy, uber fit, who's doing everything they should be doing. They're doing all the networking, they're eating healthily, they're going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. They're smashing out the auditions, they're going to the theatre, they're staying culture, they're reading, they're writing, they're doing all these things trying to be this sort of perfect version of myself. And I think that the times when I think beyond that, the times that I found the most contentedness are times when I accept that you can be all of these things and the antithesis of them as well. I try to go to the gym as much as I can, but similarly, the other day I ate a whole dinner for 2 for 1 from Sainsbury's.
Those portion sizes.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. You get a main, a side, a drink, and a dessert for £12, and I smashed through that.
You're a tall guy.
Yeah, I'm a big guy. I got to run a big engine, right? But I think it's about being kind to yourself and not feeling like you need to be perfect all the time. Some days I'm very, very motivated, and I'm out there and I'm hitting the pavement and I'm writing to loads of casting directors and producers and things like that, and peddling my wares and doing all the right stuff. And other times I'm just sat on my couch watching Pornhub,
and dubbed over with and there we are. That's the special one we've created.
That's right. We circled back. We brought it back.
That's a thing of beauty. Yeah. Is there anything about the industry or about fitness or wellness or anything at all really that you'd like to see get in the bin?
That's a really good question. I think again, there is an element within the fitness industry of needing to chase this idea of perfection, of having to be absolutely one thing. I think particularly in a post-Marvel world, I think, you know, historically, women have felt, have borne the brunt of all of this pressure to be some sort of physical version of themselves, to be some sort of perfect version of beauty or whatever. But I think now in a post-Marvel world where all of these actors are going and getting abs, I think that men are starting to get a sense of what women have been struggling with for decades, centuries now. And I think, you know, that we feel that, we have to do these all-encompassing kind of diets and things like that. Like, you know, Hugh Jackman has to go off and eat only chicken and broccoli for 6 months or whatever to go and play Wolverine, and we all think that's what we should be doing. We should just be eating chicken and broccoli. And like I say, I ate 2 tiramisus the other night, but I also went to the gym today and feel pretty good about myself, you know, and that's fine. And both of those things are valid, you know. I think I'd also like to see, just to go a little bit woke for a second, I would like to see a version of these kind of like uber high protein diets, which are more plant-based rather than being just all about slaughtering loads of chickens and cows for their meat. I mean, I know that protein is obviously very important, but I feel like every time Hugh Jackman has to bulk up to play Wolverine, like that's like an entire farm of chickens that have to die for his glutes, you know. And
they're getting better at this. Like to find vegetarian and vegan alternatives 15 years ago
would have been impossible.
So slim on the ground, and the ones that were there did not taste good.
Totally.
In my opinion, anyway. The first time I tried a Linda McCartney sausage, I think I was 10, and I was like, "This is the worst thing I've ever tasted."
They were brutal back in the day,
and they were like the only ones you could get. And now obviously there's so much more. We're moving in that direction that there is more available. I can only imagine in 10, 15 years we'll be in a place that, you know, I think stuff is going to shift.
Yeah, you're right. It is getting better, but it is hard to get to, you know, if you're trying to like eat like 40 grams of protein in a meal or something like that, it's difficult with just kidney beans, you know. So.
Oh God, yes. No, that's why if you're a vegetarian or vegan, then getting some help from our nutrition coaches is up there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's where you guys come in.
Without changing your facial expression in any way, shape or form, we're going to guess whether you have lied, and if so, what we think it might be. And if you're listening to this, cast your minds back to everything Josh has said and see what you think might be the lie. Bobby, I have a thought or two. Hit me with yours.
I think he's lied, but I got so distracted and so engrossed that I have not listened to what the lie might be.
There's the vomiting BFG.
That's a good shout. Because it was only in local papers. Yeah, that might be that's quite a good shout.
But there's also, sorry, this is you're invested in this stuff. Then it's the process. Or there was something jumping back around Bristol Old Vic. I can't remember what it was. But he did proceed to add quite a lot of detail to that. Either way, everything was expertly delivered. I think maybe the BFG thing.
We'll go with the BFG thing.
I'll be honest, if the other thing is the thing I thought it was. Hit us. Did you manage to successfully lie?
I did.
And what was it?
I'm happy to say that there was no vomiting over any of the
Well done, Steph.
Oh, fantastic.
I wanted to give you something that was, you know, that you could really get your teeth into. I didn't want to, because some people, I've listened to some of your previous episodes and they don't go for it. They're dancing around it, and I was like, I'm going to go hell for leather and I'm going to tell a big whopper here.
And I absolutely loved it. And what I really, really love is, you'll bang on, is when people are like, oh, it was actually a Tuesday when that tragic event happened, not a Wednesday. You're like, probably not going to pick your tragic event as the thing. Wow. I think you're lying about that. One more.
Oh, it's time for a game of this or that.
Oh, go on then.
So, 1 minute lightning round. Steph will give you 2 options. Got to get through this as quick as we can.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm ready.
You're ready.
Hit me.
3, 2, 1, go.
Eggs or bacon?
Eggs.
White bread or brown bread?
Brown bread.
The US office or Friends?
Friends.
Cardio or resistance training?
Resistance.
McDonald's or Burger King?
Burger King.
Singing or acting?
Singing.
Audiobooks or plays?
Audiobooks.
Yoga or Pilates?
Pilates.
Family Guy or Love Island?
Family Guy.
Domino's Pizza or Papa John's?
Papa John's.
Sport or dance?
Sport.
Alcohol or chocolate?
Alcohol.
Matching socks or mismatching socks?
Matching.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
Zoologist or psychoanalyst?
Zoologist.
Game of Thrones or Glee?
Game of Thrones.
Books or Kindle?
Books.
Clean shaven or beard?
Beard.
Personal chef or personal stylist?
Personal chef.
Opening night or press night?
Opening night.
Sexy or smart?
Sexy.
Shower or bath?
Shower.
Dogs or babies?
Dogs.
Snakes or badgers?
Badgers.
Theme park or water park?
Theme park.
Running or walking?
Running.
Director or choreographer?
Director.
Bobby or Stefan?
Both of you.
41 seconds!
That's without a doubt the quickest we've ever had.
That is the quickest by like a
Good 5 seconds or so.
The trick is
I think this was 44 before, so
41 seconds!
41
Is that
seconds.
PR?
That's
Considering how many guests we've had now, I don't even know what episode this is.
you rattled through. That was
My
impressive.
God. I think there was some that surprised me there as well. That I went after going on about singing.
Yeah, sing your
I was like, singing, and I was like, "Oh my God, I've said it now."
It's out there.
That's it. But I feel like some kind of clarity now. It's like I connected with.
Feel at peace.
We never even mentioned the zoologist and a psychoanalyst after you mentioned it right at the very beginning,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
quite a family upbringing.
It's a bit of a mix, isn't it? It's a weird. It's a funny old cocktail. That.
Having a
Yeah.
psychoanalyst in your house.
Yeah. That was my mum. That was my mama. She was a child psychoanalyst. Yeah, I had a lot of being asked how stuff. How does that make you feel? Like, there was a lot of that.
You're like,
There was
whilst
a lot
I
of that
understand
growing
that
up.
this is positive, stop it.
No, she's great. I love my mum, and she's taught me a lot about what it is to be, about emotional intelligence, and what it is to, to be kind and in touch with yourself. And I think that, I was able to dodge a lot of the pitfalls of toxic masculinity growing up because of her. So I owe her a lot in that regard. She was great. She's great.
Well,
I love my mum. I just want to end on that note.
and on that,
That's a great end.
thank you so much for joining us, Josh.
Thanks, man. It's been so great talking to you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
It's been awesome. And thank you at home or wherever you might be, I suppose, for listening.
Absolutely. And if you've enjoyed this episode, click those like and subscribe buttons. Find us on Instagram at Fit to Perform West End. As always, if you've got any questions you want answered, you know what to do. Slip slide into those DMs. I'll be in there vomiting over the audience.
Thanks again for listening. If you like what you've heard, you've been fit to talk with our wonderful guest, Josh Manning, and your host, me, Stefan.
And me, Bobby. And if you didn't like it, we've been Joe Wicks. Peace out.